Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Total Sport Podcast. This is our second episode, and I am Joash. I'm filling in for Sydney. I know you are missing her. And today we have again Yannick, Quintal.
What's going on?
Yes, and we have Shem and Caleb.
Yo.
So today we'll be having a great show where we'll be talking about the most trending topics in Trinidad and Tobago concerning sports. So, talking about that, a lot has been going on, and the Trinidad and Tobago Premier League is something that has been launched, and it's a part of football that we have been missing for a while now in terms of having that professional football league as the top or the place to be at in Trinidad football. So what would you guys say is the effect that would have, and do you think it's a good decision that the government has chosen to invest in this, a whole $9 million, even though Minister Shamfa Kocho previously would have advised of the amount of millions of dollars, like I think $84 million or high in the 80s, pumped into this, to the Trinidad and Tobago Pro League previously, that would have been wasted or didn't reap the rewards that we would have expected. Do you think this is a great idea that the government is choosing to take taxpayers' money and invest $9 million in a league that is not sure to reap the rewards? Yannick?
I think that's it's a good place to start in order just to get the league underway, right? But going into the future, I think that the clubs and the league itself needs to learn how to be self-sustaining, like some of the other top leagues in the world. Premier League, they don't have any government funding. La Liga don't need any government funding right now. All the leagues, all the clubs are self-sustained, and they provide whatever services that they have to the not only just to the players but to the community at large as well. It's a great day for football. I agree. Back in Trinidad and Tobago, we had a number of different leagues. Maybe the Ascension League, and we had the Pro League before it went under. But Trinidad and Tobago players, all the players that will be coming out from Intercol and thing, we finally have a place at least to get their football career started back in Trinidad and Tobago. So I think it's good. I think it's good that the league is coming back. We can have some. Hopefully, we have some solid, entertaining football. But the most important thing is that can these leagues be self-sustainable and to just keep running as time goes on and without that government funding.
I'd agree with Yannick with regards to the sustainability aspect because, we kind of have a culture where we expect the government to do a lot. And I know this is not sport, but the recent thing with the Soca Monarch not taking off and the money aspect of that, I wouldn't like that to translate into this aspect of the sport, given that there's a new Premier League and it's been revamped and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I would not like that to happen going later on. But as you said, it's a very exciting thing. I know it have familiar teams that are returning for this league and new ones from the Ascension League as well, and as well as new other ones to come later on. But I really hope that it could build into something organic where other people would be able to invest in it. Corporate Trinidad would be able to invest in it because investment is needed for it to go forward. So.
I agree with both of y'all. It is a step in the right direction. We officially have a official league.
Yeah.
And we know we are not short of talent when it comes to football, coming off of the short league, the Ascension League recently had. So we know that we have a lot of talent in our country, and it's something nice. I mean, now the hard work is not on the government. Let me say, for example, not on the government. They did their part. Mm-hmm. It's not on the TTFA. Now the hard work is on the teams of filling the stadiums, filling the places to be with fans and building a fan base. Now it's their job to make the community know that they have a team. Mm-hmm. So it's no longer alright like how it used to be a long time where in the stadium and it's like a handful of people. They need to do the work and the extra work now too.
The self-marketing, the promotion.
And I agree with Caleb and Yannick when they say they need the outside sponsorships, but they need to also understand that the outside sponsorships could also come from the community. It doesn't have to be the main big brands or the big corporate companies. It could be the smaller companies from within the community itself.
I think one of the more important things that the teams themselves, they need to build an identity from within the company, not the company, the community
yeah.
that they are established in. Like it have some teams that, like me for instance, right? I had to do a service learning course for UTT, and I went to W Connection to learn just to be on the staff and whatnot. Now, I thought W Connection was a team based in like somewhere in the East West corridor. I had no idea they were in Union Park and Claxton Bay, right?
Pleasant Spark, yeah.
Pleasant Park, yeah. So I think
real?
no, I had no idea. So I think
They were based in Cuba first.
Yeah.
Sammy Sabinato boys was in Cuba
I learned
first.
something new here
Yeah.
today, guys.
yeah. So I think part of that is to these teams, and now that we have like social media and stuff now, they need to establish
Yeah,
a
that's
connection with the community. So like Club Sando, I don't think they declared a stadium for them. I think they're gonna be playing games in Mahika Oval as their home games. Skinner Park just reopened. They need to take that part because I think that's one of the more important things that Central SC, we know them, we know them based in Central. I think La Hoqueta has a strong the Terminix Rangers. I think they have a strong presence in La Hoqueta. So and the field and all the Ascension games I played, they always have like a nice crowd. So I think that's a really important thing that they need to develop. They need to establish that connection with the community. Maybe whoever, if they get in jobs and thing like around the stadium, will be like vendors or something. So make that connection with the community.
So Yannick, I'm not cutting you across, right?
Yeah,
Sorry
yeah.
about that. But I believe Shem has something.
I was just like I agree with everything he's saying. I was just saying to add to what he was saying is
Yeah.
you brought up La Hoqueta. The this may sound a little crazy, but let's say the Pro League being on a halt kind of showed what football is made of really and truly. The Ascension League showed that there are communities in our country that willing to push
Yeah.
and support their teams. It also comes with the CFL.
Right.
Yeah.
Right down in my hiker, I mean, they fill the stadium.
So looking at this, the government had to invest money into the TTPL, right? But is it that we need to allow the private sector to be themselves, to have a good product? Looking at La Hoqueta, what happened in La Hoqueta. Because if they can operate in that manner, they understand that money have a certain amount of value, and whatever they do would reap a certain reward. Should it be left to solely the private sector, like a La Liga or a EPL? Should it be a separate entity dependent on the government for no funding?
I wouldn't say that just yet. I mean, we're still in
Yeah.
the building stages.
Yeah.
So I feel that would be the end result.
Right.
For years to come would be
'Cause,
where
like,
the league
league
itself.
right now, it still have training wheels, right? So we still in training wheel stage. Maybe when they take off the training wheels and it gets some momentum in years to come, we could look at that aspect. But I would still say you could still build the infrastructure for where sustainability could take place in between the next 5 to 10 years. Because it's one thing to keep the training wheels, for example, but if you're not preparing to leave those training wheels or to become sustainable, then that's where the problem lies.
Yeah, you're correct. And actually, Yannick made an amazing point in terms of Club Sando using Skinner Park. The thing is,
it makes sense.
yeah, it's correct. Skinner Park is in San Fernando and it's new. Well, refurbished now. Now we have something that we can call our own people from San Fernando. We'd be proud of that.
Yeah.
And I believe if the club is associated to Skinner Park, it may have an impact. But that is solely my opinion. I would like to place this question to Caleb to see what do you think would be the impact of Skinner Park to sport in San Fernando?
Well, Skinner's Park is actually a landmark in San Fernando. Everybody, you mentioned Skinner Park, most people would know where it is, especially people from South. Skinner Park has been a park near and dear to many people's heart, whether it be for recreation, for competitive things, for sport, for culture. Recently had the Calypso Monarch in Skinner Park. So it has a rich history, and we know the Calypso Monarch started in 1939, and Skinner's Park has been the home for that. But given the sport now, I think with the revamping of Skinner's Park, that they should also revamp sport in South. Allow for more activities to happen in Skinner's Park because it have new facilities, new amenities. And as Yannick, we were speaking before, he said have a phase 2 to come with additional stuff for other sports. So, given the fact that Skinner's Park has this love by South people, it should be used for sport. And with the league, hopefully, San Fernando, what's the team again? Club Sando, right. Hopefully Club Sando could get that as their home ground as the league progress.
So my question is really like, it's nice to see Skinner's Park reopening, and yes, there's a huge historical background from Skinner's Park. But the real question is, do we take the historical background and take Skinner's Park for granted? I mean, everybody knows Skinner's Park, but it took how much years for it now to be rebuilt? So how long would it take for us? Would we upkeep it or maintain Skinner's Park?
And that is as you remember in the last podcast, that is the problem that we kind of have in Trinidad in general. Because like with the Mahaika Oval recently refurbished as well, now Skinner's Park, and there's plans to refurbish in Sangre Grande as well. So the maintenance aspect is really a concern, and I think that it shouldn't be left to like the city corporation and things alone, because you remember the people who live in the area, who work in the area, who do everything in the area, should also have a love for the area. Like, for example, if you see litter, you could clean up your litter. Like, don't leave litter around the place. Don't degrade the washroom facilities and other facilities it might have. So while maintenance is a problem, we don't have to wait on the aspect of the government, which I say it's still important because you still need money to like for supplies and whatnot. But people, if you say South, this belongs to South, you should still have a love for it and take care of what you love.
I feel like could we just say like ask the questions like, so let's say for example, I'm not saying that it happens, but let's say for example Club Sando takes and claims
This sounds like we're advertising for Club Sando right now. But go ahead.
I'm just saying they take the initiative of fighting for Skinner's Park to be their home ground.
Yeah.
Could it be a clause? I'm just saying, hypothetical. Could it be a clause in the contract where they take responsibility for the upkeep for a certain amount of the weeks for the season?
It's granted that they have the money to do that.
That's true. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, would it be better for whoever has, saying that it's a long season,
Right.
they'll be using it more often than others?
Yeah.
I know you mentioned it's
so
a
it kinda-
long season, but isn't the season starting?
The season started March 10th to finishing in May. It's not.
So it's
It's not
basically half a
Because they
season.
essentially play in 2 games a week, one during the week and one on weekends.
yeah.
So within that period of time, I feel like they could allow for the club to take care of the pitch and to take
provided
care
that
of
they actually get
using
it as
it.
their
Yeah.
home ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That could be actually, and that could be
I
implemented
agree,
on
yeah.
different
I think
grounds
for the
as
most
well.
part, whoever is, well, it would be nice that whoever is doing the events, whoever who are in the events, they would have some sort of way to keep to keep the grounds maintained. Well, you're talking about Skinner Park. I think it's $131 million project as of February to keep, and that was phase 1. At least I think it's together. I think the figures together. Phase 1 is complete with the track, cycling track done. Plus that track cycling to be done there. Track cycling done. The field has been regrassed, replanted, and whatnot. And plus we have the 1,500, the two 1,500 seat bleachers and the $3,000 cover. The 3,000 persons cover stands like 6,000.
So that's
That's
good.
phase 1. Phase 2 is underground parking and the basketball and tennis courts to be done too. Skinner Park, to me, I think I saw a couple of events there. I think in terms of stature of events, I think Southern Games was. I saw that in terms of I think that's cycling, was that tracking.
Yeah.
I think it was tracking.
It's one thing to have to be spending the money to build facilities, but it's another thing to utilize them. to their max potential. For example, like the Kuva Velodrome.
Yeah.
There are some areas where we can highlight and say, yes, we are using the Velodrome enough. And there are some areas where we can be like, we should be doing more.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we have this here. So one of the areas I would like to see the stadium used for is in youth football. You know? Because in San Fernando, there's limited amount of areas where we see youths playing football on a good surface or in a good facility.
Yeah.
So like Presentation College, Naprima, not bashing their personal fields and grounds and stuff. But it would be nice, you could have everybody thinks about
Pres naps.
snaps. Yeah,
You can have like high profile matches in Skinner Park when it comes to like intercall, and not even just intercall, like if you're hosting like the youth cups and things, Skinner Park would be a nice little
So
ground
my
to play
question is,
too.
why only the high profile games? I mean, it's our own. So
Well, the matches that would have like, you know,
I understand
like
that
everybody
that
going
everyone
to,
will go to it. Yeah, but I still also mean like we could also utilize it for the other schools within
True.
San Fernando.
And have a
as
lot
well.
of schools
And
in
there's a
San
lot
and
of
have a lot of
yeah.
schools in San Fernando
And
too.
again, too, it could actually be like the introduction for like sub schools having their own like cycling competition as well.
Ah, yes.
So youth sport, apart from football.
Because
Right.
as you said, phase two is the
Basketball
basketball
and
and tennis. So you're seeing that there's initiatives being opened up for the future.
No, and not just that. We're talking about employment
employment
opportunities
as
as well as opportunities for like surrounding areas to make money. I think I'm not thinking for the PNM, but I think they're talking about making another flyover that connects Skinner Park to the cross.
Yeah.
Right? So as soon as you finish, you'd go across and get some food.
Yeah,
Lime taking place right there.
walk
Yeah, you walk. Next walk over now, yeah.
That's honestly a good idea
that-
because of the type, how mean the road is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
a lot of vehicles drive there, and people like to do drag racing and stuff like.
When do they plan to do that? So we could organize a car, the Total Sport food truck. You don't know. I mean,
Yeah, no worries about that. But you know, there's actually the under-17 Concacaf tournament going on right now.
Right.
And even before that, we had our team play 2 games against Jamaica, 2 friendly games. Both games ended 1-0, I believe. And then Trinidad and Tobago under-17 team lost 3-2 to Canada. That was a good fight. But what are your thoughts? I want to hear something from Shem, because I believe you have a lot to say, especially concerning.
our under-17 team shows a lot of hope. Like, I was unable to see the first 2 games against Jamaica, but seeing the game against Canada, they showed the fight and the hunger for the win. Yes, they didn't come out, the result wasn't as we expected, but I enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I also have questionable theories where I say if we didn't get our red card,
Yeah.
we would have get Canada problem.
Yeah.
So you're seeing the potential.
You're seeing
in
the
squad,
potential,
right?
you're seeing the hunger, and you're actually
Right.
seeing that they want to represent the countries. You're seeing that they have the talent. I'm not sure of their mentality when it comes to the coaching and training sessions. That is for the coaches and them alone to know. But
Right.
you could see when it comes to game time, they're ready to put their hearts on the sleeve and play for the country. Because, I mean, what's your goal? The first goal was wonderful counter attack.
Shout out Malachi Webb. I actually had the opportunity to join one of Cooper's sessions, and he was part of the team that went to Houston for the under-15.
That's for the summer.
Yeah, that was in the summer. He's a good player. He's a really
Yeah, I think any player with the last name Webb, I believe, would be a good player. So.
Because you're my boss, I would agree.
What do you
Trying not to
think?
get
So
fired.
first of all, that was a nice goal by him. He anticipated the goalkeeper coming out.
Not
just make a
only
nice
that,
sidestep.
his timing they were playing the offside.
Yeah.
And Canada was playing the offside trap, right? And he timed it perfect.
Perfectly. The ball by Sween to get that in. That was
And-
really good too.
And then the wonderful free kick that they scored in the
Sweet,
81st
yeah.
minute. There's like,
It was a very good free kick.
these guys and them have it. So, I mean, I expect them to do great in this tournament. I mean, I get excited.
I'm intrigued for their transition into the senior team and what would it look like for them. Because as you say, they have the drive, they have the potential. But I just have that concern where they transition into the senior team and going because it is one thing to have players who are hungry for playing, and then it have because sometimes the drive might overpass talent in certain areas. So I am asking you, Shem, like, with regards to what you're seeing, do you think that transition would be smooth for some players or not?
The transition will never be smooth for all players. Get out of the way.
Right.
But you have to also understand that if you want these youths to go into the national senior team, they need to have a senior level of playing status. So you also have to understand that it's two different coaches. So one coach may see potential and greatness from this player who's a striker, but he could have a striker on national team that plays right wing, center attacking midfield.
Yeah.
I have a utility player. So what I could say is, yes, some of these under 17 players are perfect one position players. If I could see the future they develop and they continue to develop and master their craft in their position and other positions, they have smooth sailing.
Yeah.
I think another thing too. I didn't get to watch the game fully, but I saw the highlights, and I think that red card was a very unfortunate one. I think that could have been. I think to me that could have been avoided if there was some proper communication, because I saw the keeper was going up for the ball to try and make an attempt to save, but then Cardinals, I don't know if he panicked or whatever, he trying to put his hand up. Well, trying not necessarily to put his hand up, but he trying to defend as well, and his hand ended up there.
Again, I would consider that an unfortunate thing. Cardinals just joined the team, so there wouldn't be the communication as they expected. I mean, just joined the team.
Yeah. So I don't think I think he had as much reps.
But
that's true.
Did respect the fact that he put his hand out for it. Like it was like Suarez against Nigeria.
Ghana.
I was like, the keeper yesterday.
Take one for the team.
Yeah,
But it would be sad to miss him for another man.
By the way, when I saw that post, I was like, Crystal Palace. Where did TFA find him from?
I mean, Trinidad
No,
is
well,
everywhere now.
we have been talking about things like this, and it's good to see that we actually making the moves to capture the athletes that we have out there. Hope it's not just for football, but we reach out to all our athletes in the different sports.
By the way, also, I can't remember the keeper's name off the top of my head right now, but
He is splendid.
he saved the penalty too.
Yes.
But there was two other saves that he put down during the game that could have simply been goals for Canada.
Yeah.
And look, kudos and props to the keeper. He really did. He really did show out yesterday.
You can say
I mean, like, yeah.
he's a goalkeeper, right?
Yeah.
Talking about GOAT, some people would consider LeBron James the GOAT, but not me. LeBron James recently broke a record, right? I would like to give Caleb the opportunity to express this to us so we could talk about it, because I know for sure you could give us the exact stuff as a LeBron James fan. He's always on my back about it. Caleb, take the floor.
Well, you know, in the games before, in some games night ago, LeBron became the highest scoring male athlete in basketball in the NBA. He passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who has Trini roots, if you didn't know. His parents came from Trinidad, and his grandparents, South Point 14. His grandfather was from South. His grandmother was from Grand Riviere, which is in the north. So he has a lot of Trini roots. Kareem also said that he used to send his children down here just to immerse in the culture, because the music and the vibes and all these other things he held near and dear to him because of the roots now. But it's not about him. It's about LeBron. LeBron.
Damn.
As he's actually I'd consider him one of the best in basketball of all time. Some people may not agree, Joash. But he's an athlete. This is his 20th year in the NBA. And he started from 2003. I was 5 years old at that time, where he started with his hometown, Cleveland. The Cavs, right?
Cavaliers, yeah.
And then he went to Miami. And then he came back to Cleveland, which he did, some people might say, the impossible pull off that 3-1, where he overcome that 3-1 deficit where they was in the finals against the Warriors, which is why I can't say that Steph is the GOAT, but going forward, going forward,
I mean, he'll never
he
be,
won.
but-
He won a championship for his hometown, which was very good because Cleveland has always been home to him, has always been good to him, and then has been with the Lakers. This is his 5th season with the Lakers. He won a chip, and he is 38 years old. He turned 38 years old a few weeks ago, and he is still performing among the rookies, among everyone else, the young people. He's still putting points on the board above Titi in games very often.
Caleb, definitely you know everything about LeBron James. Because if I don't cut you across here, you keep talking. I know that. For sure, for
Killer
sure.
Phillies Rich Paul.
Yeah. So, Yannick, I don't want to move on to Shem or anything because I know you are LeBron James. With your beard and
Oh,
thing, you know.
I have that to hear him.
That conversation, that's
I know
I
that.
feel
I know
like
that was a Twitter trend at some point in time. You,
Yeah.
yeah, but
yeah. Well, all right. So here's the amazing thing about LeBron James too, right? He reaching that status with Tom Brady, where he play with other men, kids that he would have played with in the league too. Because I don't know if you know this, but it's at his first game against the Sacramento Kings. You know who was on the bench in that game for the Kings? Jabari Smith.
Right.
Jabari Smith Jr. is playing for the
Right,
Rockets,
right.
and Jabari
Right.
Smith Jr. actually pointed that out, just like, no, my dad played against you.
During the game.
Yeah, making him
remember
feel
that.
old, right? And I think
Yeah,
that just tells you the longevity that LeBron James has for him to reach that record. What he has to go through in terms of maybe he hasn't missed a lot of games, so his toughness, his durability, that's what contributes him to playing as well. How he keeps his body,
His
well
athleticism.
rested and whatnot, the diet plan that he has on, the strength training plan he has on. And for him to, not just the basketball talent was there from the beginning, like from since he was playing for St. Mary's.
Right.
And for him to be drafted number 1 overall by the Cavaliers, going through all that, seeing the Harvard management see like he was the number 1 pick from the get-go, and he's been running the show since then. Like the balance of power has shifted every time LeBron James goes somewhere. The Cavs was good. He was running the East for a while. Then he went to the Miami Heat, where he won them 2 championships. He going back to Cleveland, and like everything.
I just want to know one thing now, boy.
Crazy.
How long you think LeBron James has to play again?
He is playing until his son. He gets to play with his son. So I think he said that. He said that before. I think it's
How old is his son? His oldest son?
I think his son playing for Sierra Canyon right now. I think he has 1 year of eligibility in college if he's going to college, and then after that he could go to the league, whatever.
Jeez,
So it
LeBron will be
depends on
40 though. Like,
yeah.
LeBron is gonna be the Zlatan of basketball.
But come on, at 38, look at
And what he
his
doing?
ring. Yeah.
Missing some games because of injury. Well, that's some nagging injuries and things, but that's to be expected.
That's terrible. Wait, but I feel like we spoke about the Premier League, right? But who you all supporting for the Premier League?
Oh right. Oh yeah. Well, I live not too far from Skinner Park. I live in Palm East, so Club Sando would be my club.
So like, so my question is right. So my question is right. So like, if we put a friendly wager on who you think would win, and we all select like a team each.
Oh no, Bobby, you have a Civic.
yeah, I'd have to support the side I'm closest to, which is Point Fortin Civic.
so for sure. Say it loud and clear now. Point forth and submit.
I will be supporting Point Fortin Civic for the
And-
season.
Yannick.
And you're your club Sando.
I'm Club Sando, yeah.
So I will be choosing one of the most decorated clubs in the country right now, Double Connection.
And the most decorated.
But you got a new stadium and all of a sudden you could clung me.
But the stadium first, and then come.
But yeah, I choosing Double Connection. I feel like what would be the friendly wager? Like if what would the loser get? Let me talk about the loser first.
Or we consider losing. Like whoever finishes
lose.
lowest.
Well, firstly,
Yeah.
you would be getting public embarrassment because everybody is feeling this. In terms of something good, I think everybody could put forward something,
I don't know what you had in mind.
We will have to discuss
If
that
I
after
win-
now, man, but
I would like a 6-piece at Popeyes.
I feel like that could work, you know.
Okay, all right. If we do it,
Wait, it's like specific gifts. I thought like everybody is.
Nah. Well, he started, so
Right.
you go ahead.
Because I got an ask for a house and a car. I don't know.
So,
Be realistic, or else you won't get it.
Be for real.
I need to think.
Yannick, what about you?
our pastor from TGI Fridays.
Okay,
Shrimp
I
and
feel like
chicken
all you're
pasta.
doing this intentional and all you're trying to advertise.
This is something
Hey,
easy.
CGIs, if all that,
You know
I
what?
want my money now. But anyway,
I feel like I would take a gyro special from Sammy's Gyro.
I will carry a Marabella. I will carry a Marabella and show you where to get gyros, right?
Well, Sammy's in Maravala.
No, not from Sammy's. Don't worry. I don't want to call it from yet. But with that being said, we have spoken about a lot of trending topics in sports, and we still have a lot to cover on the next podcast. So with that being said, I'd like to conclude. Thank everyone for coming and watching with Total Sport. This is our second podcast, and we hope to have you on. Please follow us on all social media platforms. If there's a platform that we are not on and you would like to see us add that, please feel free to message us.
By the way, Bobby, Point Fortin versus Club Sando for the first matchups of the season.
I will be there.
I just want to say, Sydney, we need your back, girl. It kind of tense in the room.
Yeah, boy.
Like, tense, you know.
You know, Sydney, back next day, and these guys not here. It's